Welcome to Yin Yoga. I'm Christy. Let's take a nice full breath. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of movement first today before we settle into our yin poses. And as usual, did I turn on my phone to time them? No, I did not, so I'll grab that in a second. So just doing a little bit of movement because that's just kind of like what I'm feeling today. So we just keep working in yoga on being in the present moment and allowing things to happen instead of fighting and forcing and like, why is this my life that I'm always struggling and striving? And so yoga is, very much in the vein of this concept of non-striving. So that's just what I'm feeling today, is a little bit of movement. So rather than fighting it and trying to figure out like how am I going to make my yin practice work when that's not really what I'm feeling, I just thought we'd go with that. Okay, so let's take a nice breath here. Notice how you are. Just notice, how is it to sit in this moment? Does it feel awesome to just sit and be still, or is it a little bit of a struggle? What's happening? So I'm feeling both this like need to move a little bit as well as be quiet. So we're gonna try to find some balance in that. All right, I'm gonna grab my phone here, my ancient phone, and turn it on. Okay, so coming out onto hands and knees. So I've got my yoga mat out here, and I also have my blanket, which I'll probably switch to for yin. Okay, rounding into a cat. From hands and knees, lay your head and your tailbone drop down. And then start to let your spine drop down, let the head and the chest come up. Notice how all of that's feeling for you. So I'm just feeling like I want to bring my hips back. Oh yes, to a child's pose. Just kind of mixing that in there. And then coming back into a cat. And letting the spine drop down into a dog. And then bring the bottoms of your toes onto the mat. And bring your knees up, push your hips back, let your head drop down. Maybe a little shifting. A little lifting up onto your toes. And a little bit kicking one leg up into the air. So all just an exploration of how you're feeling. What do you need to do here? You might shift forward and bring that knee forward. And then kick it back. And then the same thing on the other side, letting that foot come up, exploring. And then you can shift forward, bringing the knee forward to the arm. And then kick it on back. Let that foot come down. And then we're going to walk feet to hands. Coming into a standing forward fold. Breathing out, let your back lengthen. If you want to do ragdoll here, maybe soften your knees a bit. Hold on to elbows. Let yourself hang. And then inhale all the way up. Reach arms up overhead. Let hands touch. Bring them on down to the heart. Okay, I think most of me is still in that picture. Take a breath. All right, we're gonna turn our feet out, turn our feet out. We are gonna turn the feet, but first we're gonna take them out wide. And turn the feet to the right, bend in your right knee. Letting your tailbone drop down, feel your footing on the floor. Lift the spine up and just feel what's happening. How do your hips feel? How do your legs feel? What's going on in your shoulders? Bring the arms up to about shoulder height, let your shoulders drop down. See if you can relax your toes. Feel your breath. All right, we're gonna take an inhale. And then on an exhale, we're gonna take it into extended side angle. Resting your right hand or your right lower arm on your right thigh. Try to get this lengthening out from the hips. And then your left arm can come up, it can come out past your head. Pressing your left foot into the floor. Turning the front of the body away from the floor. And then we're gonna look down to the right toes. We're gonna lean in over that right leg. Let your spine lengthen. Feel your breath. And then we're gonna come on up. So you can come back in to a warrior two. And then hands come to the hips. We're gonna rotate the feet. So you might need to step your feet in. You can always just, if you need to, you can step them in. Take a breath. Especially when we're really stressed, which, okay, when am I not really stressed? Taking a moment just to pause and breathe can be really helpful. And then feet out wide, feet to the left. Bending in that left knee. Again, feeling your feet on the floor, letting the tailbone drop down, feeling where your hips are, lifting your spine up, just really feeling the body. And then arms, come on up to about shoulder height. Looking out over your left fingertips. Trying to feel the whole body here. And then we're going to take a nice inhale. And on an exhale, lean into extended side angle. Trying to turn the front of the body away from the floor and lengthen out from the hips. Breathing. And then we're going to turn down to the left toes. And we're going to fold in over this left leg. Let your spine lengthen out. Breathe. And then we're going to come on up and back into our warrior two. I'm having this week where I can't remember how long we were on the first side. All right, we're gonna bring hands to hips. And we're gonna turn both feet towards the long side of the mat. Let the body fold forward. Let your back lengthen up. come back up. Step your feet in. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring it into a squat. So take your feet out, heels about hip distance apart. So knee trouble, maybe feet a little bit wider, or fold forward as you come down a bit. Hands can be in prayer. Feeling the sensations of being in this position. And then we're just going to try to bring it to seated. So you may need to tip into a forward fold and then come sit down, or you might be able to just bring hands behind you and sit down. And we're going to take feet right out wide, coming into another wide leg forward fold. So this time let's do, all right, that feels right. Yeah, we're just going to do straight down the center. So again, just take a moment to pause here. I'm wishing my water were within hand's reach, or that I could make it come to me. But I'm gonna go grab it. So take a breath. Pause and just be. All right, so feet out wide. If you want a support, you can pile up as much as you like. You could just use hands, you could use lower arms, you could use blocks. I really find my meditation cushion to be a useful prop for a lot of things. And then we're gonna work on that breath. Trying to just be. Feel the floor beneath your legs. Just noticing, is there something that you need to move, something that you need to change? How are you holding your head? How does your neck feel? Breathing. So how much of a struggle is it to just be? It can be very difficult physically and mentally. I think the mental part of just being still, working on calming, quieting the mind a little bit is often the harder thing than keeping the body still. So drawing your mind into all of the things that you're experiencing right here in this moment. So any sensations, so maybe right, if your arms are resting on something, what's that sensation? What does your floor feel like? Maybe even the clothes that you're wearing, what's that sense of the clothes that are touching your skin? What are the sounds around you? You can focus on the movement, sensations of the breath. So the sensations of the breath in the nose. Sensations of the breath flowing into the body, moving the body. and noticing how you're doing in this moment. Oh, just a few seconds left. Did that get easier? Did it get harder? Were you listening if the body told you to move and get out of that pose? All right, we're gonna come on. Ooh, come on up slowly. Oof. All right. Yeah, I wanted to do a butterfly here, but I feel like we should go onto our backs and stretch out and take a breath. Yeah. All right. I'm probably just gonna stay on my yoga mat today. I'm thinking about the sensations of the blanket. I'm just a little more comfortable, so I may have to shift that in a minute. Okay, so on your back, anything at all that it feels like you need to do. So I'm feeling like I just need the soles of my feet on the floor and to sway my knees a little bit. So windshield wipers. All right, let's do hips. So let's do reclining pigeon. So if you have a big solid piece of furniture like this, I'm not sure this is quite high enough, but you could do a reclining pigeon. So if you have right ankle over left thigh, then your left foot would go up on the wall or a piece of furniture that you feel okay about putting your foot on. Depending on how clean your feet are and all that stuff. What you've been walking around on today. Otherwise, we're going to let the legs drop to the side. So right ankle on top of left thigh, and then we're going to let the legs, oh, God, that's tight. Let your legs drop over to that left side. So you can put something underneath your leg if it feels like it's too far. So we're trying to stretch the IT band here that runs along the outer leg. And then arms. The thing I like about letting the legs drop rather than holding them is, especially because it's a long period of time, that starts to be a little bit stressful. But it lets you move your arms into a place that feels nice on your shoulders. You might even put hands behind your head. Sometimes I find that a good spot for shoulders and a little bit of support for the neck. And you can kind of come back into this sense of just being. And like we're just lounging. We've got no responsibilities, no worries. Just lounging here on the floor. Let and go. And so if your foot's sliding, you might just hold it a little bit with your hand. Noticing how you are. I'm feeling like I need to move a little bit here, so I'm just going to straighten my leg out a little bit, and I'll see if I'm okay coming back into it or if I'm not. Alright, so again, just slowly let go of this side. Let that leg stretch out a little bit. Maybe let it just lengthen and hang. Or you might feel like you're ready to come back to your back. Stretch your legs out. Letting yourself pause. All right, here we go. Side 2. So we're gonna walk. Oh no, I need to pull knees in first. All right. Oh, once I moved, I was like, all right, I gotta pull knees in. So you might feel like knees in or a happy baby, reaching for your feet. All right, and then we're gonna let the feet come down. Oh, all right, now I still need a little more wiggling here. All right, we're gonna let that left ankle rest on top of the right thigh. So again, if you're using a support, then your right foot's propped up by a wall or a piece of furniture. Otherwise, we're gonna let the legs drop over to the right side. And then again, begin that process of softening into the floor, feeling your breath, looking for what you can relax. And trying to just lounge, just rest. this side go. Slowly. Woo, straightening out that leg. Any little movement you need to do. Pausing. All right, and then we're just gonna flip over into a Sphinx. So we do a little back bend because we did a bunch of forward folds. So let's do a little back bend. Just coming out onto your abdomen. And then you're gonna rest on your lower arms. Feet can be wide or feet can be close together. And again, feel your breath. Working on letting go into the floor. And so feeling the sense of the front of the body on the floor now. If you're feeling like you want to deepen your Sphinx, you can come into a seal. So then you're turning your fingers out a little bit. So if I roll my mat, it would be towards the corners of my mat. And you can try to straighten your arms. So definitely better on a mat because you can dig your palms in a little bit into that stickiness of the mat. So you have to watch your lower back here. You're going to be in this seal. So let your shoulders push back and down. And it may just be part of the time. I'm gonna come back down here. If you're okay there, you can hang out there. So if you like, you could push back to a child's pose, or you can roll right back onto your back. Because we're going to take it into Shavasana next. So you can come onto your back. And maybe pull your knees in, so it's like an upside down child's pose. And again, if you like, you can reach for your feet for a happy baby. And then we're just going to try to get comfortable. And all right, I was trying to silence my phone there, so it won't make those little noises while we're in Shavasana. Okay, so just try to get comfortable and breathe. I'm feeling the floor. Try to just be here in this moment as best you can. Take a deeper breath. Notice how you are. Then if you're still on your back, how do you want to move? Wiggle fingers, bring arms overhead, move your wrists, wiggle your toes, maybe head from side to side. And if you're coming up to seated, maybe roll to your side first. And then come on up. And we're gonna let the hands be wherever's comfortable. So again, do you want your hands on your legs, across your heart, in prayer at the heart? What feels right here? Lengthen up your spine and take a nice full inhale and exhale it out. Thank you for being here and sharing in this practice today. Namaste.